Welcome back to another Inkscape tutorial. So today we are going to do the stroke and fill. But before that, I just want to explain something very quickly. That's something that I didn't explain in the previous tutorial. So as I said earlier, that the Inkscape as a program have some memory based on what you did on the previous operations. Like this one, it is red color. The fill color there is red, because that is the color I used previously, which is sometimes good and also not good. Like for example, here if I use Pacman there, and let me go ahead and delete this. Let me go ahead and delete that, and I draw another circle there. You can see now we have a Pacman there. So which is the downside of this is that let's say you have a Pacman there with you change the fill color to be white, so you can't really see the shape. You might think you have a rectangle there, well basically you have a Pacman which has a white background, because our page here doesn't have any background. It's only white, that because that is something that most papers are made of. They're made of white, but basically the page here is transparent. So if we have a white background, then it might be difficult. If you have a white, not background, but if you have a white fill color, it might be difficult for you to see your object there on the screen. So one thing I usually do when I'm going to have a white fill color, I just draw a nice background there. Then I give it a color there, so that whenever I draw, let's say I have my circle there, then I can bring this one. I can bring this on top. Right now it is below my background. I can bring it all the way upwards. Let me change the fill color here, so it's white. So this is what I wanted to explain. If you are going to work with the white fill colors, your color of choice, then you can probably draw your background there with a different color. But me, what I usually do, let me delete the background there. I just make this a color which is visible and something that I can see. Moving forward to stroke and fill. Let me just click this to get the full circle here. So right now I don't have my stroke there. So if I want my stroke, I just hold the shift key on my keyboard. Then I select any color I want. Let's say I want dark color there. There can also be more options. If I come to object, then you go to fill and stroke, then you'll have this menu on the right hand side here. So on this menu, we can see we have 3 tabs. The first tab here is the fill color. Here we have settings for the fill. Then we have the stroke paint. Then we have the stroke style here. So starting with the fill. So if I click the X, this means that I won't have any fill color there, meaning of the fill color. The fill color here is none. It might appear white, but there's no fill color here. So let's say I have a box there with a fill color of green. So if I drag this one on top of white, let me bring it upwards. So you can see it has no fill color. Let me delete this one and work with this circle here. So the fill color, if you click X, then that means there is no fill color, but I can come here, then I assign the fill color. So under the fill color, we have different flat colors here. We have RGB. RGB just means red, green, and blue. And so the way to go about this is that if I have a fill color of blue, then I can have different shades of blue. The colors here ranges from up to 255. So if I want to play around with the shades here, you can see here right now the red is 0, but I can try to move it up. Then I can increase the opacity there to achieve the red color. So most of the web design uses RGB. Also, we have CMYK, cyan, magenta, yellow, K black, something like that. So here we have CMYK. So CMYK, most of the printers work with CMYK. So if you want, you can play around with this and get your color as appropriate. So what we have here doesn't mean whatever you present to your printer farm is the same color you will get. Sometimes it might be different because what they use is they mix these colors to achieve the final color. The printer uses different inks. The inks are shown below here to come up with the final color. So the color which might be on this program or that you might have in your design might not be the same color which you are presented with finally. So though what I prefer is the wheel. You can see here I can just point the wheel. If I am on the red region, then I can play around with the opacity here to make it thicker or lighter there. So I usually play around with this. If I'm on the blue part, then I can use this to get different shades of blue here, as you can see. So coming to stroke also we have those different colors. You can have your stroke have the black color there. I can see here our stroke is currently black now. That's why you can see the black color is at 0. But if you use the wheel, you can have the stroke color to be red there. Yeah, that makes sense. And also we can have the stroke style. The stroke style here we have the stroke width, where you can play around with it to increase the stroke width. This is yeah, this is a bit messy here, but just have a nice thin stroke like this one. Depending on what you want, we have the units here also. You can play around with that. Then we have the stroke style, where we can have a continuous line, or we can have dashes there. So like for example, these are, if you are an elementary school teacher, you can have something like this and present to the kids. That really sounds nice. So let me move back. Let me make this continuous. Also, we have different joints here. Let's say I have let me have a star here. Sorry, I was just trying to let me delete the second one and move this one a little bit. So you realize my corners are not sharp as per se, but I can make them sharp. This is getting messy. Yeah, so you can see they are now sharper as the way I want. So you can see the joint here. If I have this selected, I can play around with the joint here to make it a little bit less sharp compared to before. Or I can have this bevel joint. This bevel joint will just try to make it a little bit straight. Or I can have this one having it sharp the way it was initially. These ones also you can play around with the cap. These are just working with the end lines, so we don't have end line here. Another thing we can have, let me hit minus sign here too. So here can as well now change the gradient here for the fill, where we can just click there. We have the gradient, and we can always edit this. We can play around with this. You can can change the color there using the wheel, and can change the transparency depending on your application there. We can as well now have the radial gradient. Radial gradient start from the center, coming outwards. You can play around with that there like this. You can change the color on the wheel there. So we can have linear, we can have radial, we can have mesh. Mesh is a bit messy here. Mesh is messy. Mesh is kind of freehand tool where you can draw some nice things. So you can see each area can now apply a different color there. So that is just about gradient. Now we can have the pattern, fill pattern. Fill pattern can have this stroke there, that is stripe 1.1. We can have stripe 1.5, that is white, that is not a good one there. We can just have dots. This one can't even be seen. We have some great ones here, like this one. These ones are, if maybe you are designing a t-shirt there, you can have a fill pattern like this one here. So basically that's it. And sorry, there's one point. There's also a blur here. A blur here we can just can make something more blurry, but I don't like using it. Just a little blur there is enough, like this one. And here you can change the opacity. Opacity is making it less transparent. And let me tell you where the opacity is really applicable. Let's say we have something like a circle, and let's say we have red as the fill color, and we can have the stroke color to be green. And let's say we have another rectangle here, and this one, let's say the fill color here to be here to be green. And if we drag this one over here, you can see, let me bring this one forward. You can see it has some level of transparency. This is because of the opacity. Opacity is not 100%, but if the opacity is 100%, then it won't have that transparent appearance. So this really comes in handy maybe if you are designing a website, or designing a banner, for example, and you want something to appear like kind of fading on the background, then you can apply this in your design. What else? I think that's all on fill and stroke. And thank you for watching, and let's meet next on the next video. Thank you very much. Really appreciate it. See you.